A Man Called Otto. This is a film that came out earlier this month. It is based on a Swedish book that came out in 2012, and then there was a Swedish film that came out in 2015, so this is the American adaptation of it. And this is about a grumpy, depressed, miserable old man played by Tom Hanks, and he is an Aggie man who is continuing with his life in a negative way after the loss of his wife. He's grumpy, he lives alone, but he's got new neighbours, he's got old neighbours, and they're trying to interact with him a lot on a day-to-day, and he just can't be bothered with it really. Now I'll jump straight to an important point, and I mean this in the politest way possible, but I was not the target audience for a film like this. The target audience for a film like this is the middle-aged and above. And that's just based on the creative choices of this movie, the soundtrack, the humour, etc, etc. But saying all that, I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Otto is like the male equivalent of a Karen here. He bites and snaps easily. He complains about stuff that hardly seems worth complaining about, but he's just in a very negative mindset, so therefore he's just sort of snapping at everything that he sees as a minor inconvenience. But they play this off in a humorous way. They manage to make the themes of depression and suicide and injury pretty funny, and Tom Hanks plays it very well. You get these whole segments of him attempting to commit suicide, but things just keep sort of interfering, or he just reacts to something in a funny way, and I think they played it off well. It certainly got the laughs out of it, because they were taking a dire, depressing situation, and then before you know it, they're just playing it off in some funny way. And Tom Hanks played it very well. You know what you're getting with Hanks, and I thought the support cast were very strong too, and allowed the emotional side of this story to be more impactful based on their interactions with Otto. This is a film that has quite a few tones going on. It's trying to be upbeat, it's trying to be comedic, but it's also trying to be quite sad at the same time. So tonally, it's a bit of just a soup of all these emotions and themes going on. So it can feel like it's a little bit over the place at times, but not messy, but it just feels like it's going through the motions quite a lot. But saying that, I do think it's structured well. I think the pacing is very solid here. I think the runtime is just about spot on. It didn't feel like it overstayed its welcome. It didn't feel like it didn't do enough to make the impact that it wanted to. And honestly, I think this is a well told story. I'm not sure what the Swedes would think about this. Would they see it and think, oh god, it's such a cliche American adaptation? I don't know, that may be something they think. Obviously, this does have kind of American adaptation feel to it, but, I still think it's a good story. I still think it's well told. I still think it's just well put together in general. It's one of those, I don't really think it, exceeded expectations massively, but I do think it was better than what I thought it was going to be based on trailers. I saw a trailer for this and I thought, oh. But honestly, it is very well done, and I think you've got to put a lot of that down to Tom Hanks, because he really does, put a very solid performance in here, and I think the emotional moments do actually hit. Even for me, I was sort of, feeling that emotional side to it. There's some pretty intense moments here, especially, when he's sort of talking about his past, talking to, his neighbours about it and all this sort of thing, and I just think it was strong overall, and I think it achieved what it wanted to do well. I think if you see the trailer for this and you think, that is of interest to me, it's definitely worth watching, because I think it's better than what the trailers represent, but obviously you need to take it with a pinch of salt. You know you're going to get some kind of cliches for what this movie is. It's almost like a feel-good movie, and those aren't really my sort of thing, because sometimes I feel like they're too on the nose, and at moments in this film I did feel like it was a bit on the nose, but I do think it's a good movie nonetheless. I would give A Man Called Otto a 7.5 out of 10, and on the rewatchability rating, I'm not sure I would rewatch this again, but if it came on late night TV, I think I'd be inclined to watch it if there was also a middle-aged person there. A Man Called Otto, have you seen it? If you have, let me know what you think about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.